Hello and welcome back to Game 4 of the Relay, where Europe are one win away from claiming the title of Rift Rivals champion. To once again commentate, they do lead 2-1. In case you were confused, the best of 5, and they're up 2-1 right here. Echo Fox got sent in. This is the blind pick portion of the Relay right now. Echo Fox will be playing their last game of Rift Rivals right now. And Europe sent in Fnatic, one of the 2 squads that have picked up wins here as well. So 2 undefeated teams so far in the best of 5, now going head-to-head, and it's a must-win for Echo Fox.
And for Europe, this is kind of the best case scenario, given that G2 stylistically did not match up very well against Echo Fox. Even during the group stages, they struggled a little bit. But for Fnatic, they're a little bit more early game focused. They're much more willing to brawl and fight against the Echo Fox squad that is always looking to fight you whenever they see an opportunity.
Echo Fox are feeling really ready for this matchup. Dardoch was the first one into the game lobby. He said they were 100% going to come out here in game number 4. They're ready to do it for NA. They actually expected G2 to come out and meet them because he challenged Jankos to a regular jungle fight. No supports.
No Braum versus Alistar.
No standard, but not going to be today.
And something I want to point out, actually, is Echo Fox is definitely a team that have been very experimental, I guess I'll say. So far at Rift Rivals as well as throughout the LCS. People say chaotic, people say it's, clown fiestas, whoever what, but Echo Fox had not played any of their original default Spring Split LCS roster as the full starting 5 until today. They had Demonte plus Phoenix, they had Demonte plus Altec, they had all kinds of crazy stuff going on. I mean, Phoenix's only game before today was that Renekton top game earlier against G2 Esports in the group stage. They have not put this lineup together almost at all until right now, and lo and behold, they played a bit more of a standard game, and they looked back to their Spring Split form that got them all the way to the 3rd place match and looked much better, looks more reserved. So I'm very curious, now that they are in the matches that mean a whole lot more, they're playing their more standard style, and it's working a lot better, such as that win over G2.
Yeah, definitely excited to see how they match up against Fnatic, who it felt like they did one experiment, and they were like, yep, that worked. We're going to have Whippo in the bottom lane all the time now. And they're like, okay, we'll fully embrace the mages. And they've kind of kept it standard since then. Their new standard is to have double top laners in and play these mages in the bottom lane. Yeah. And it's going to be very fun to see how Echo Fox now attack it, because Echo Fox actually are still moving pieces, like you're saying, and swapping in and out their players that do have very unique champion pools.
Yeah.
While Echo Fox have been versatile and everyone's like, oh my god, they can do anything, it's not like they have tons of top lane champions that Dardoch can play if Huni wants to jungle.
It's Rengar.
Yeah, exactly. It's not like they have tons of top lane champions for Phoenix to play. They actually, maybe they don't even have any.
Well, Karthus was okay. They had a decent Karthus game, but that was it.
But the question is, how does Fox do under pressure? Because right now, their backs are against the wall. Europe does lead 2-1. If Fox can get a win, not only will they be 2-0 in the group stages, but they then give their final North American representative an opportunity to take the win over Europe after what was a very mixed group stages for the side of North America.
Sure, absolutely, yeah. 4 or 5 group stage now, looking at 1 and 2, maybe up to 2 and 2 in this best of 5. Of course, if Fnatic wins, the show is over. Europe takes the trophy, they win, and they get their deserved props as the better region. Either way, though, this is getting ready to go very, very soon. Red side was selected for Echo Fox, by the way, being that it's Game 4. It was North America's choice of which side they wanted to play on. With side selection, Echo Fox chose red, which makes me really think that Huni's likely to go into the top lane, get himself a counter pick, and find a way to look good against either Soaz or Whippo up there.
And already we're seeing the Heimerdinger ban, something you just have to take away from these European squads, because every single one of them can play.
Are we going to see a Kindred ban from the Fnatic side then? Because Dardoch looked very good on this champion. It's super strong right now, and he can play super offensively, the style that you're looking for from him, invading and being able to deal damage.
Yeah, Echo Fox 2 and 2 overall at Rift Rivals. Both those wins are on Kindred jungle, both those wins playing more standard. There is that Kindred ban. They are not allowed to be played here in this game. One final ban for Echo Fox. No Zoe for the mid. Let's see what Fnatic values most heavily.
It has to be the Aatrox, surely. With it left available, Whippo did play it earlier in the day. They did find a win.
I hope he does it. I want to see Huni take the Fiora into the Aatrox, because we have had so much talk about Aatrox, right? And people still haven't had a lot of time to play tons of counters into the matchup. However, the first one that emerged throughout solo queue, even before this champion hit Rift Rivals, was Fiora getting inside.
It's not
I
Fiora,
know you're trying to cut me
Kobe.
down early. I really wanted to see the Fiora because of the mobility and the skill matchup that is there.
Yeah.
Even that one, though, if Aatrox can still get good trades on her, and it is risky, we'll see if this one is going to be Huni's Renekton, because Phoenix,
I hope so.
Phoenix did
was bad.
not have a good time in that exact match.
Wait, wasn't it DeMonte that ended up playing the...
Phoenix was the top
was
Renekton
Phoenix.
for sure.
Right.
100%
They
for
move
sure.
around so
Yeah,
much.
He got slammed.
Yeah, he
it was
did.
not even close. That was against G2, to be fair. It was Wonders Aatrox, so a slightly different game, but either way, different stuff out here. When Huni brought the Renekton, it was in a funnel game, and he did not respect ganks at all.
So-
either way, Swain picked up now for Caps or Whippo.
Now, you naturally assume that that will be put into the bot lane, and you say for Caps or Whipper, you got to remember Aatrox can be flexed as well.
Sure.
We talked about
Could
it
be
earlier on
Steroids.
the day. It could be in the middle lane. Still a lot of options here for Fnatic, aside from Sejuani that's probably going to be going...
Ooh.
And an Evelyn has an answer, very unique.
A good ganker.
The reason why I've heard in the past many junglers like Evelyn and Sejuani is because her early game is pretty weak, but Sejuani can't punish it. So you just pretty much play a farm-style jungler, and you can get to that level 6 mark without Sejuani really interfering or getting in the way.
Also, if you come through with the charm onto Aatrox, you can burst him down. Even after his ult is used, if you burst him down quick enough, the Blood Well doesn't fill up very much, and you can just take him down again. So a lot of spike damage could be important in that matchup. I am pretty surprised, though, that Xbox went for the Lucian as well and just let the Swain come through here. It seems like Fnatic are kind of getting exactly what they want here.
Well, yeah, of course, you only get 3 bans, and I think the Heimer, Nocturne, and Zoe bans are all good. And if they don't want to play Swain or they don't feel comfortable on Swain, it's another strategy that Echo Fox want to play. You at some point have to let them play champions they want to, of course, and Echo Fox, that's how they economize their bans. What I'm surprised by, though, is the early Evelyn pick when you start to see these supports dropped off the table, right? Braum, of course, high priority. All champs are very good. Unless they were showing a bunch of even scrims, you don't expect Eve to hit the ban table in phase 2.
I'm surprised that Pyke was not banned away, because oh no, that's even So Pyke loves squishy champions. Lulu, really squishy. Eve, really squishy. Lucian, really squishy. Like, there are so many options here for Hylissang to pick his favorite champion, pairing it up with a Swain as well. It's just, it's an obvious choice for Fnatic that they are not going to hesitate away from.
Well, it's going to be tougher right now. 6-6 to go till they lock in, and they're going to have to find the rest of their composition again. As you talked about, we've seen Aatrox in a lot of different lanes, Swain as well. So it is a flexible lineup, but I'm expecting a hard mid laner here as the final pickup towards Caps. But of course, that's still up to what they decide they want to do. It's Lucian plus X in the bottom lane. It could be Lulu, but it's more likely to be Lulu mid with a hard support pick at the very, very end. They hover Draven, they're hovering Orianna
Don't
now.
press
Fnatic.
those.
But even if it's Ryze, that's still flexible between the Swain and the Ryze being mid and bot lane. And so it's going to be Ryze plus Swain, and now Echo Fox. Oh, Soraka, that's Adrian special. No, back to the Shen. A very similar lineup to what they played earlier today.
Shen Evelyn is a very powerful combo you can use to flank around and get that engagement, try and burst somebody from 100% to 0. You can chain the CC there, and it will be very lethal. It's going to be interesting what this does do to the mid-game map control.
Yeah, going to be very excited to watch for, and even the early game map control, of course. Just what you're seeing with these swaps here is Whipple will be playing Aatrox almost certainly in the top lane.
Yeah.
These two players switch their roles back and forth based on champion pool, so it is going to be Swain bot with Pyke. Ryze in the mid lane for Caps. We can see a fairly standard composition for Echo Fox with their players playing their on-paper roles.
And I feel like Fnatic have got a very well-rounded draft overall. They've got a decent amount of AP damage. They've got good AD damage. Their team fight is pretty good. Their ability to split push is pretty good. Overall, it feels pretty balanced across the board. Whereas for Echo Fox, I feel they're a little bit more focused on the early game. Shen, really powerful in lane, especially when paired up with a Lucian. Eve, she kind of wants to get that snowball going, especially around the lanes like the Lucian and the Renekton, who are all about those early game dominant powerhouse champions. So a little bit more emphasis and kind of a return to style for Echo Fox, which is very early game focused.
Lulu does give you a pretty good out, though, as far as creeping in through the mid and late game. If Altec does have a good game on the Lucian, the extra speed for him to get around these fights and outplay more of the skill shots on Fnatic's side, that would be their way to try and end it out a bit later as well.
We are getting ourselves on to Summoner's Rift Europe. one game away from claiming the Rift Rivals title. Echo Fox must win if they want to hope that North America can keep their run of Rift Rivals victories alive. NA, of course, won the first inaugural one about 12 months ago. Europe might get their revenge here today, and we'll figure it out in the next hour or so. We get ourselves on a Summoner's Rift, and the players spread out. We can see Bwipo heading towards that top lane as we expect. Also, want to point out, he is running Grasp of the Undying on Aatrox. We see a lot of Comet normally on that champion. Grasp, though, a bit better at fighting against melees in the 1v1.
Let's go over some of the basics for Aatrox, because even though we've seen him in a bunch of games and be high priority here at Rift Rival, it still seems like even some of the pro players don't have the instincts built in when playing against this champion, regardless of the guy playing it. When he throws out the Infernal Change, that is the W, the one that's going to put that zone on the ground. It is a very distorted zone, and there's a very short distance to both sides that you can try and run to get out of it, so you don't get dealt the damage again, you don't get sucked back into it. And a lot of people have kind of fallen into the trap of just immediately running away from Aatrox and out the long way, which is not going to be able to find you an escape pretty early on. For the Aatrox player to counter this, what you almost always want to do is throw your chain out and immediately go for the long Q. Because if you land the long Q, your mini knockup is going to be long enough of a interrupt to keep them in the zone unless they flash or jump out of it.
The other big and important thing in my eyes to talk about when you look at Aatrox is the amount of sustain that he gets passively. I do believe that he gets it from his E, and just the amount of healing that you get is based on the amount of physical damage that you deal. So if you're landing all of your abilities and you combine that with something like a Death's Dance, he just has so much healing that it becomes almost impossible to take him down.
Yep. Of course, the sweet spots on these Qs are the things that you're also going to keep track of, and what Huni here on the Renekton is going to try and dodge. Bottom lane, nice exchange there from Echo Fox, taking down some damage onto Pyke, and he won't be able to heal all of it back up.
And you can see, of course, spam EULCS or NALCS in chat if you're supporting North America or Europe and North America respectively on that one. And right now it's lane priority for Echo Fox on the bottom side. Level 2 coming in a second, and off the mid lane fight again as they're trading blows as well.
Look at the junglers right now. You can see Broxah hanging around the top side. There is a ward in the river that will spot him out. There was the potential of him going for a kill up top as Bwipo asserts his dominance over Huni.
And already burns the flash. That immediately is going to signal both junglers that they're going to have to worry about the top lane matchup. These two bruisers, there's always kill potential here for the Aatrox. As we said, if you're able to get just the one knockup, you can keep them in the Infernal Chain zone and chase him down. So Huni's going to have to play a lot more carefully. And this guy, especially at this tournament, has been ganked and farmed, basically, in a lot of these games. So we'll see if he keeps that in mind and is able to either outplay in the top side if it's a 1v2, or if they have Dardoch cover him a bit more.
Right now, Dardoch is covering. I think they need to get this wave shoved in the rest of the way. Huni has a bunch of rage. He can hit that Q and knock stuff down as Dardoch's, going to look for a deep trinket ward as well to see what might be going on for Sejuani. There was one camp ward stealing. Now Phoenix and Caps fighting in the mid lane, and Caps down very slightly in farm, but now winning in health bars as he's already taken his first TP back to lane with his tier stacking.
So we talked a little bit about the Evelynn in draft, and seeing as it's not a champion that we see very often, to think about it, like, going for these early ganks is often really challenging because of how predictable she is in her setup, but this is what
Oh, he jukes away, but still gets charmed. Could this be enough damage? Not just yet, flashing away, but watch out, Proxys here, turns it around! First blood in for Fnatic, and now the chase in for Dardoch has to run away. And now we watch the bottom lane as the hook comes in. Hylissang gonna run out, and that is a great counter gank right there for Fnatic.
Ooh, and Fox committed so hard to trying to kill Caps, but with a beautiful sidestep is able to dodge the charm, which allows him to flash out of that situation, and he doesn't end up losing his life, and Broxah comes in clutch at the last moment to turn it around for Fnatic.
Actually huge that Cap sidestepped the Q out of Dardoch. If he had waited and used the E to charm, the Q does a bunch of extra damage if the first hits, you do a bunch more afterwards. So last out in the damage, that might have been first blood, as we now see Broxah look for the bot lane fight, not going to do much with that ward in his way.
Yeah, simple case of getting outplayed right there. And we're going to take another look at it. Charm starts early. They want to full channel it, so that's why it goes in for the polymorph. But again, you're not going to have the damage if you don't hit the skill shot part of the Q.
Yeah. And credit to Phoenix as well, because The reason why they were able to make this gank even work or attempt to pull it off is the polymorph. The fact that Caps was CC'd and turned into a tiny bunny means that they should have had enough damage between them to find that early kill and start this snowball off for Eve. But because it fell through, Dardoch is now going to be put behind. He doesn't have his flash, and he's going to have to wait for that level 6 mark, while Caps, he can make plays happen in the mid lane with Broxah, and they can look to further shut down Phoenix.
The NEL's side missing 3 flash on the top side. It's actually only Cap missing his right here, so a pretty good stay right there. Now Hoonie's got to be careful. The Q comes across! Whippo finds a solo kill up top, and now a trade on the bottom side as well. Big damage on Alt-Sec. Soaz having his way with this lane.
Ooh, yeah, that's a very good all-in there from Whippo. He's able to get the pullback on the Infernal Chain, and also whenever you hit your sweet spot on your Qs or you cast a spell, you lower the cooldown on your Deathbringer stance. He's able to finish it off there with the last empowered auto, and follow up on burning solo the flash of Huni, and then also getting the solo kill. Just seems like Fnatic with complete control of this early game.
Huge credit to Bwipo getting a solo kill down onto Huni. He wanted to prove himself once again, going up against Huni. Ooh, Hillsang getting low.
He'll use, they just have the damage up, but the Ignite was on. Well played now, but watch out for Phoenix as Romor comes across, and he's going to be in range for the root. Damage coming across, a kill in the mid lane. What a gank.
Yep, whenever you have no summoners left on Lulu, easy target. Good job there from Broxah. Again, visiting the mid lane and making sure that both solo lanes, at least for Fnatic, are the winning areas. Echo Fox, it's actually crazy to say this considering how much of their past season has gone, but their bottom lane is their hope right now. Altec and Adrian, the control there. Getting first level 6 here for the Shen is going to maybe be an option for turning around the rest of the map.
So what was the decision-making process from Hillsang here? Because Soaz was stuck behind the minions. He then hard commits onto Adrian, the tankier member of the two. And then when you have an AD carry that far back that can do this much damage early on, you have to question what they were trying to aim for. Now Fnatic, they have the right set on diving top lane.
Huni has ultimate, of course. Yeah, so does Whippo. It's actually Broxah taking aggro first, then it trades back over. Huni goes for the hard CC, but still getting pushed around. He's going to try to kite away, a jump forward. That's going to be the revive coming out. Huni staying just almost alive. They will get the trade into Broxah. A big chunk of shutdown gold, 3 kills worth, but they did not expect Rise to be there. Nice shot over the wall. Dardoch kiting away. But this dive could still happen. He has the charm available on Caps. He's going to pull him in, but he did not pull aggro. Yes, and now Whippo is going to pull aggro, and he will give for the lifesteal, but he will drop down. A shutdown kill comes over still. More gold over to Fnatic with the assist. And now Phoenix couldn't make it happen. Caps' flashless and almost out of mana. Does Phoenix have the damage, though? It's going to be close. Ruined Prison, and yeah, that's going to be a nice jump away. Cap stays alive. I believe extended 2 for 2 topside.
Yeah.
Ooh, this is the kind of game we were expecting with Fnatic versus Echo Fox. Kills across the board, action all across the map, and the Fear ulti from Bwipo kind of messed up the initial dive and bought Huni a lot of time to kind of turn this in the favor of Fox initially. And while he does go down, Dardoch then shows up and starts to get a couple kills for Fox.
Yeah, Dardoch was looking to clean up too after that, but Caps made the first roam, and so they go for a second tower dive. This time around, though, since the charm lands early on Caps, Whippo decides he's going to tank the turret. He just goes in. He knows he's not getting out after that one, and in this case, you get an assisted kill, so you get an extra 50% worth of the gold on it, plus you deny those minions that were at the turret. So even though you know you're going to die going in, that's still a gold advantage for your team, trading 1-for-1 in that scenario.
Absolutely. So this game, 800 gold apart. For the most part, early game leads have tended to transition into actual game wins here. Even though 800 gold is not insurmountable by any means, it's just happened to go this way so far during Rift Rivals. Again, the bot lane going to be the area of aggression. A nice pull into pull and good damage onto Adrian down there. Almost equal farm across these two farming champions. A nice chunk down. Hillsong forced to kite back.
All right. As we mentioned earlier, the level 6 on Shen does open up a possibility of the Evelynn Shen combo. Dardoch trying to turn around the top side, but as of most of this game, that has been in control of Fnatic. They've got control wards there now too. You can see Broxah in enemy territories, looking again to go top.
And they're gonna find this one. No flash, but no ult for a few seconds as well. Big chunk of damage, and the re-engage not gonna mean a whole lot for Sejuani.
That's that CC chain we talked about in Chance Select. Stun from Huni, right into the charm there from Dardoch. No
big
time.
Taunt, big damage here. He's gonna kite out pretty easily, find a stun on a Shen, a pull back with Soaz, but Still, I believe damage went just barely in the favor. Never mind. There's the big push in towards Altec. Shadow keep him alive. He's trying to cut away, but they might still have the burst damage. He's going to go for the explosion, a kite, and he's going to flash in. He's going to get that one, but here comes the rest of the squad. A taunt, the big stun coming across, a trade kill, but a TP down for Echo Fox.
TP top right now, too, for Bwipo. He's actually going to try and hard push that wave.
Action just keeps happening all across the board. Really good TP from Huni to turn the fight even in, towards Echo Fox, so they didn't lose out too much, because you talk so much about it, Kobe. In the 2 versus 2, it has been Altec and Adrian coming out on top, and now Hylissang does land the hook, gets a bit of damage down. What can Dardoch do on the top side of the map?
Level 9 versus 8 actually got a lot of XP on this E. Pops the ult and forcing that down. It's very, very low HP in the Aatrox. Can he get the chase? He goes in for the flash. EQ! Dardoch solo kills Aatrox. Now look at the mid lane. This is Phoenix running for dear life, trying to get away. Where's the Rune Prism? Where's the skill shots? Just kiting back and forth. Lets the stun stack up. Maybe a misplay there, but a good kill in the mid lane all the same.
Yeah, he did flash a little bit early, so then Broxah still was able to follow up with the slow off the W. And that is a bit of a damper at the end of a couple of big Echo Fox plays there to get right back into it. And this gold is back to even.
This is such a big deal for Echo Fox that Dardoch is coming up clutch. 4-1-0 now on the Evelyn. 82 CS. This guy has been picking up kills. He's doing a huge amount of damage. And if they want to gain control over this early to mid game, it is him that has to make these plays work out.
And this is a man who understands the Aatrox rework. We talked about bursting him down as soon as the ult is popped so the blood well doesn't fill up. Here on the bottom side, though, is another look at the move from Fnatic. And they do, to their credit, win the 2v2 down here. It's just that Huni's going to end up also teleporting. Altec there does use his ultimate to try and get Hylissang out of this fight before Huni arrives so they can for sure get the counter kill on SOAS. And that does end up happening. But again, the teleports into 2 different areas. And
so Dardoch just comes in here. Bwipo, he's just used all of his abilities, so they're pretty long cooldowns. And you can just see the sheer amount of damage coming out from Dardoch. Gets them a win, and now another game.
Sheer amount of damage in the mid lane. Goodbye, Phoenix. Into the ashes you go. Hylissang actually grabbing the kill credit, but of course shares extra money over as a result. Dardoch alone down here does not have his ultimate for a disengage. This will be first turret picked up there. Fnatic can have a pretty easy chance. Vip pops a stopwatch to buy a few seconds, hoping to buy space for his squad. Goes into the little bit of a dive and actually buys a whole hell of a lot of time, but there's still way too many coming in. This is going to be the turret falling down almost assuredly. That's first turret coming across. No kills back and forth, but pretty hectic fight all the same.
Yeah, fancy little moves there. They don't have the numbers to actually capitalize on it. Huni, 1v5, uh-oh.
1v at least 4 here. There's no ult left available for SOAS, but look at the damage effort there. Tries to heal up, but he's likely to fall all the same. And Huni, I've seen that play before, kills himself against all of Fnatic.
Yeah, Fnatic all grouped up, running through the river. Trying to cut them off here is Huni, but he's just going to be left by himself.
Was I really trying to cut them off?
That's exactly what happened last time. He's trying to cut them off in the river. He's hoping for them to separate. But yeah. Echo Fox have full information that they were all grouped up together, so there's no reason for them to separate and give an easy target.
Okay, support versus Lulu, and it's going to be a knockup. Phoenix running away. Dardoch is around. They're going to try to make this play happen onto Caps. Nice. Juking away a quick taunt, though. They have the damage. Almost a great stopwatch, and Hylissang going to be okay as he keeps running. Nice juke from Adrian. Gets away from the pull back and will stay alive and trade of shots.
13 minutes in, 15 kills happened in this game so far. The gold is ever so slightly in the favor of Fnatic just because of the early tower they were able to secure, but that is not slowing down the momentum of Echo Fox. Dardoch now looking for a flank.
Broxah getting away quickly enough. He should be all right as long as the red doesn't reset. Okay, it will. So a few moments bought here, but this is still a red to be stolen away. Echo Fox trying to stay alive in this game. 2,000 gold difference, but that will shrink as bot lane turret falls.
So right now, Fnatic are pretty happy with the state of the game just because both the champions that are scaling up in Swain and Ryze have completed their Rod of Ages very early on into the game. So once you hit that 20-minute mark, Fnatic are going to be primed and ready to fight. So while Fox have been finding a bunch of kills and the Evelyn is in a good position, the snowball hasn't been big enough because Huni has been falling behind and Phoenix has just been shut down. 0-4-0, yet to even complete his first major item. Dardoch is the only real damage dealer at this point outside of Altec if he can get close enough to the fight. And Fox just have to be very careful about how they approach a lot of these next few fights just because of how strong Caps and SOAS are.
Careful is definitely a good word because Phoenix here on the Lulu, he's so far behind. Yes, he shouldn't even think about trying to do damage in these fights. He should just think about trying to buff up Altec to allow him to do the damage, the guy that's actually built for it.
Oh, speaking of damage output though, Whip will go for the play now. All-Tech Shen's coming across. He'll be reviving, and this re-engage could be good. Shen could find the taunt. The Hillsang goes to the Bone Skewer and stops him mid-dash. Beautiful play. Good support right there.
Whippo was confident that his team was right behind him, but now Soaz in a 1v1 against
Dardoch
Dardoch.
level 11, but again, he misses the Q, which means not great damage. He has to be really respectful of what Swain could do, dodging the first Q, and here comes the rest of the teams. Looking for the pullback, not going to get it, but now Sejuani's in the fray. Big damage onto Huni. Goes for a big stun, but be careful to re-engage. That could be the explosion, not going to be ton, but now Rune Prison is in. That will be the kill picked up. Hillsang nicely done, chases forward, looks for more. The Bone Skewer lands, out goes Dardoch. This could still be a very, very good chase. Phoenix falls for 0 and 5. The flash in, so it's not going to get that one. It's a flash out for Dardoch, but still, more good fights for Fnatic.
And a quicker collapse there for Fnatic does get them 2 kills, but here goes.
Not quite the toss, looking for Caps, good damage, but it's going to be Adrian falling first. Fnatic not able to lose these fights. They're getting more and more throughout this game.
And we just talked about how Fox have to be so careful when trying to approach these fights. Fnatic feel pretty strong right now. They're winning out on so many of these skirmishes because Dardoch isn't getting the damage off that he wants. And because of how far behind...
What are you doing? He face checks into 4 of them and dies right away.
Fox are not respecting Fnatic at all right now, and Fnatic are ripping through Echo Fox and looking to secure the Rift Rivals win for Europe.
And they are poised to take this one at this point. 4,000 gold lead, only 60 minutes in. Fnatic putting on a show here on this one. 2 wins potentially in this best of 5, doing a lot of the carrying themselves. Splice, of course, with a great win earlier, but Fnatic definitely showing up well on the day. We watch this fight in the mid lane again.
Okay, Dardoch's going to start it off here from stealth on the Evelynn. Again, trying to get around the minions for this Q. Good job there by Soaz. Actually, I would credit him more with the dodge because there's not another angle for Dardoch to even throw that Q as you move behind the minions. But the collapse being first from Fnatic is why this thing all goes sour for Echo Fox.
Yeah, and again, like, Huni just isn't strong enough to tank up 4 members. The fact that they stick around this long as Fnatic is coming down through the river, just... Ooh, we have another fight, though.
And it's Huni under a turn. I've seen this one before. He's going to drop right away. Another kill in for Whipple, his 3rd of the game. And the chase is on Brox. So look for the ult. He's going to find a slow on a Phoenix. The slows come back. A nice Bone Skewer All-Tech. He's going to be falling for that one. A double kill for the Aatrox. The re-engage, but only getting the ultimate revive off as Dardoch is now forced to run. But Rune Prison up very, very soon. Looking for the 3rd kill. There's the pullback of Bone Skewer in and a shutdown. In for Hillsang, a 3-0 the Fnatic.
And another team fight win goes in favor of Fnatic. 3-0. They have another tear in their eyes. And boys, we're only 17 minutes into the game.
16 kills ready for them. Some of them certainly donated over by Echo Fox, but still a much better played game. Bone Skewer gets yet another. Phoenix trying to run away. He will juke out from the CC. But Fnatic now up 6,500 are running away with this game.
Woo! Phoenix gets to stay 0-5-0. Not another death. All right, well, let's take another look at the dive. This is a 4-man. Actually, that was just a great pull there by Hillsang. It was 4v3, but he yanks Huni right under the turret, and a nice follow-up is a huge numbers advantage. At this point, Echo Fox have to go in full retreat. But again, Hillsang on this pike is just destroying them.
Yeah, he is playing so well. This is a big comfort pick for him. We saw it coming in the draft. They love the Swain pike bot lane, and he is just landing Bone Skewer after Bone Skewer, using his ultimate to close the gap to then make landing the Bone Skewer even easier. This man is so comfortable on this champion, and he is just demolishing Echo Fox.
Now, demolishing is about what's going to be happening here. Europe over North America. The only thing we've won was the grand final at the beginning of the day. AR Earth.
Hello, we won the last Rift Rivals too.
I'm talking about this year, Kobe. Keep yourself in the present right now. Either way, Europe putting on a show and a vengeance road here for them as a win in the group stage and looking likely to be a win in the best of 5. And we can see as more continues on. Fnatic and Echo Fox playing now for a bit of Baron control. It spawns in a minute, 15 seconds. Fox a bit of time with this Rift. Scuttler picked up and looking for some kind of miracle pick. Bone Skewer charged. Not going to find a target just yet, but Echo Fox needs something huge to happen soon, or Fnatic get a pretty easy Baron take at 20 minutes.
I do think it is fitting that Europe here going to win, or looking like they're going to win another game with some of the new stuff, right? It's the newer champions that were just released. Pike and the rework of Aatrox.
Yeah.
Fully embracing everything new about this game that they can get their hands on and utilizing it very effectively.
It's something I've honestly enjoyed about Europe is they seem to be one of the most innovative, if not the most innovative region in League of Legends. I think back to when Unicorns of Love came on the field and they're playing Poppy top when they qualified in, like back with old Poppy and whatnot. I do respect the fact that they've done so many new things. Heimerdinger coming out, thanks to Kieran and everyone else. Really cool region to watch, and they're deserving this win right now.
I mean, my favorite is always Xerxes, the man that brought Rumble in the jungle, Warwick, and Ivern all to competitive.
Rumble in the jungle was played.
There's a skin for it, okay? That came first.
But you are quite right. Now the question is, can Fnatic close things out? With the goal lead they have, it is looking likely.
Big damage on the turret. Yeah, good job with the Rift. Now it's a pull in towards Huni. Look at the hard crowd control. Trying to burn him down. He will stay alive at the very beginning. But the dive in comes for Whipple. He gets one now. And Altec not anywhere to go. Caps on a second. A rampage now. And that might be even more of a dive. They're going to pull in a couple of members. Look for the hard CC towards Phoenix. Cleanses away. Stays alive just now. But the minions are gone. And it's time to go for the base right now. Fnatic, get rid of the turret. The inhibitor is next.
Echo Fox just can't find the fight. They are too far behind. All the gold is on Dardoch, and he just cannot turn these around or in favor of Fox, especially after all the bone skewers that Hylissang lands multiple times.
And ever since the early game, it has felt like the rest of members of Echo Fox can't keep up with him, or they're not coordinating enough with Dardoch, as Dardoch was starting a lot of these plays, and the other members of Echo Fox, either isolated or en route to the skirmishes.
Got to give huge shout-outs to Broxa and Caps with gigantic KDAs, 16 and 14 respectively. Big performances in what looks to be climactic game of the final. Huge stuff there. The Fox, of course, still doing what they can to defend. These miracle comebacks, we've seen them before. Speaking of Europe, CLG EU famously camping down with 10,000 gold deficits and so, but no Anivius here. This is going to be a bit more difficult.
Big throwback there.
That is.
Is Phoenix going to die in this 2v1?
So as here we go in a 1v2. And ooh, wow, that's a really, really good hourglass. He's not even gonna be hard CC'd, and Dardoch, nowhere to go. The blast code picked up already by Phoenix. Oh, that is Evelyn going down, and now even the Lulu gonna be bone skewered, knocked in. There's the kill. Hylissang getting credit. 4 kills, actually, second place leader on his team. And this is now the Baron to be picked up at 21.5.
With the jungler dead, there's no one left to contest from the side of Echo Fox. Fnatic, this should be a clean and free Baron, and with it, the Rift Rivals title on the line.
Is there another category we could add on the scoreline there for blowing the blast cone and not letting your teammate also get out?
0-6-0-1 enemy assist. Yes, that one.
I mean, honestly, if you had waited for the Evelyn ult to come through, Dardoch, and then would have also got chased down, but it's funnier to write the story this way.
It's funnier this way, absolutely. Dardoch, I did think, had a fairly solid game, couple of solo kills for him, but at the end of the day, it was just, of course, not enough right here. Spots of greatness. Echo Fox were the one win that North America got during this sort of final run, but Fnatic definitely a much better team on the day and will actually individually be 2-0 against Echo Fox at Rift Rivals as far as their matchups it went. And now, as the Dragon's being picked up, it's just the formalities left. Fnatic crossing their T's, dotting their I's, making sure they picked up everything else on the map.
They're going to be pretty happy with getting that extra bit of damage. 22.5 minutes into the game, and this has been quite the action-packed potential final game. Although at this point, it seems very unlikely that Echo Fox will be able to turn it around. 10,000 gold in favor of Fnatic, looking to do Europe proud, kind of redeem themselves after last year's Rift Rivals performance, where Fnatic did not perform the best.
That's true, and now a pull into the mid lane. Oh, goodbye. This Renekton just dropping. Hylissang getting away. He's forced to burn his flash to jump out from Dardoch and Phoenix. But mid lane inhibitor turret is gone, and the dive towards the Nexus is still happening as well. 5 versus 4 in this one. They look towards Altec, looking for the chain. There's going to be Caps finding the route, the pull back in. Whipple getting himself onto a rampage now as well. The chase in for Phoenix, and Dardoch running away. Gets a quick Shen ulti, but he's certainly going to be dropping for this one. A giant chunk out from Rise. Dardoch gets put down. A double kill for Aatrox. As many A's as kills in that fight, and now it's the runaway as Phoenix is just running from Caps, and a triple now in for the champion. It's crazy, and this one 24-6. As Phoenix is trying to find Caps for a little bit of redemption.
Get on the board!
Get something on the board as you're mentioning, Kobe. The dive in the back line, the pull, another kill towards the Rex teammate as Huni is not going to stop Fnatic from winning another international title. Rift Rivals go to Europe. Definitely the better teams on the day, the better region this weekend.
All right. North America won in Europe, and Europe is taking it back.
Yep.
You know what that means, Vedius? It's a draw. You know, we are equally good team.
I don't think that's
equally good regions, Vedius. Congratulations. I mean, it's Europe. We love draws. 1-1 in Rift Rivals.
Oh, man. And what a way for Europe to win as well. The fact that Splice came up big, secured a win after G2 were upset by Echo Fox. They're going to be feeling really confident returning back to the EU LCS. Fnatic getting the 2-0 on the day. Both Whippo and Soaz having phenomenal performances. And Europe just claiming a bit of revenge back after last year.
Huni shaking hands with his old team. We got to the finals, which kind of had to happen, to be fair. There's only two real teams here, but Europe the better team here today, and that's
Perks
so
joining
far.
Fnatic.
Yeah. That might be I mean, I don't know. Caps played well enough. I don't think they need him.
I like the team spirit, though.
Yeah.
It is with the theme of the event.
Right, it's the three teams playing together, and they all pitched in is the funny thing, right? Like, G2 did very, very well in the group stage, got Europe the chance of counterpicking all their teams and more games with side selecting the final. One representative from each team lifting the trophy here representing Europe. Beautiful stuff, more confetti. Beautiful, beautiful stuff. European LCS. The better region, at least this weekend. The better region at MSI, and we'll see what worlds.
Each of the respective roles taking their chance to lift up the trophy. In the end, it was a team effort. Splice did struggle during the group stage, but they made up for it in the finals.
That was supposed to be junglers, but I saw like 3 Braum mains right there. I'm not sure if just...
Now the legendary few mids.
Yep, one of whom brings Smite almost every game. And it's time for the rostered bot laners.
How you feeling, Kobe?
I feel just fine, honestly.
Yeah.
Just another day in the office for me. Rift Rivals, as I was told last year,
doesn't mean anything, apparently. No,
I'll take it back next year.
Yeah. No, I think Rift Rivals actually means quite a bit. Like, yes, sure, it's not the actual World Championship. There's the only Koreans are on the NA rosters here, and G2s to be fair. But speaking of, but honestly, yeah, a very great tournament. And of course, even then, with the best of Europe yet to be seen, Misfits, another undefeated team over the EU LCS, they seem likely to make it to Worlds. That'll be exciting to watch them play against some of the world's best in a few months as well.
I was super happy that this tournament was played on the live patch, so we got to see all of these new things in action.
Yeah. And I still think there's more to be explored, Kobe. The 80 carries haven't died just yet. But we'll see how the meta evolves following from here.
We are going to see how it evolves. Now to hear from the Rift Rivals champions, it's time to hand it off to Avli and Fnatic's Rune Mage in the mid lane.
Thanks, guys. Caps, congratulations on becoming the 2018 Rift Rivals champion and taking down NA on home turf. I mean, what does taking home this title mean to EU?
It means so much. We lost last year, so we were really sad. And the whole off-season we were spent just like trying to recover from the loss of Rift Rivals. So it means a lot that we were able to win this time.
And I mean, with this victory, you have won bragging rights as the superior region. So is there anything you'd like to say to your lesser NA counterparts?
Better luck next year.
Well, thanks for the luck. Caps, congratulations again on the win. And for more on the game, let's hear from the analyst desk.
Thank you very much, Avli. The 3-1 victory for EU. Deficio not only called it, but his region is victorious.
Thank you.
I mean, honestly, such an impressive performance put together by the EU squads today, given the fact that G2 dropped that first game, and then the other two teams are the ones that come in and support the team that was undefeated through the group stage.
Yeah, it just makes it a really cool story for all of Europe, and especially the Splice guys. The fact that they were down, and everyone thought it was just a free win for Team Liquid.
Yep.
They were just going to sack them, and that was it. They're the ones who sets up this game here for Fnatic, and then when Fnatic, of course, goes in and just completely dismantles Echo Fox, it's a 3-1 win.
The Splice game completely changed the momentum of the best of 5. And you wonder if it'll even change the momentum of the rest of their season, being able to play proactive and do well from there. Because that last game, you almost wonder if NA switched it up at the last second. Like,
I bet you they
were
did.
thinking the TL was going to beat Splice and then carry it on to game 4. But then Echo Fox says, TL, how could you do this? They pick red side when they didn't have to pick red side.
Right.
And they got
They had a
smashed
strategy
by Fnatic.
It didn't work.
Yeah, I think that's the big thing is like TL maybe would want to go 3-4, but after you get destroyed by Splice, you need a minute to collect yourself probably, and that sets Echo Fox up for this game. And I just hate leaving Aatrox up. Like, yes, you can counter pick it and go for some like, you know, camp top strategy, but you're working so much harder to deal with an OP pick than just hitting it on the ban list.
Definitely agree it made it harder in the draft. I think overall, though, they actually managed to get early kills for their jungler.
Yep.
Darko did really well. The problem was everyone else just let him down.
Right.
Like, Phoenix managed to die 7 times, I believe, in the mid lane.
0 kills, 0 assists.
Did nothing correct. A top lane Huni, exactly the same story. So I understand from a strategic view that, like, hey, we can give Aatrox, we know they're gonna first pick it, the next turn. Early jungler we can try and snowball with. There we can shut him down. But then when 4 out of 5 members are literally just getting destroyed.
Right. The theory's there. The execution was not, and that's where we return to your point,
Exactly,
Mark, where perhaps it would have just been easier to remove it as a possibility.
Yeah, it's like,
Yeah.
I'm going to do quantum physics instead of simple addition. It's like, why don't you just get rid of the hard thing?
And on top of that, look at some of the execution, I think, from Hillsong's Pyke in this game.
Hillsong's disgusting this
was
game.
so clean. And then the CC chains. There's 2 sides to all of this, though, because yes, Fnatic had one of their what looks like favorite compositions. Every character brings CC. There was 1 copy of Mercury Treads on Echo Fox. Huni put in the Ninja Tabi. I don't think Phoenix ever finished Boots. Like, it was not good by Echo
And
Fox.
I think this is where we have to give an exceptional amount of praise to the EU region as a whole for the way that they experiment and are so willing to pick up the new stuff as it comes in from patch to patch, right? We're talking about that Heimerdinger. We're talking about that Aatrox. We're talking about the funnel strategy in and of itself that NA was late to. And it's no surprise then almost that you come to this tournament and you watch the 2 regions clash. Well, the region that's been willing to practice for 2 weeks earlier than the other is the one that comes out on top.
Historically, that's usually true, too. I feel like Europe is always the region that's breaking out the new thing, at least trying it. Sometimes it looks god-awful, and everyone's like, what were you guys thinking? But, like, then there's these times where Aatrox is broken, and you have this other pick that no one else is ready for.
Yeah, and that was a lot of my fears coming into the event when we were doing the podcast beforehand. I thought EU was going to have the upper hand. And it's not an excuse. It's just the fact that I thought EU was the stronger region, and I think they proved that they were.
Yes.
Even starting the day with Echo Fox jumping out of the gates, putting a beat down onto G2, you think, wow, could this actually happen? But definitively no. They lost the next 3 games. Team Liquid couldn't even beat Splice. And then, as you saw, that last game was probably the most one-sided game we had all event.
Also, just want to add another pick. We talk about Aatrox, but the Heimerdinger is 4-0 during the event here. Splice used it to beat Team Liquid. They killed Doublelift in lane twice with it. And when you are quicker and picking up some of these champions that we most likely will see in the NALCS next week, because they're going to be like, oh, okay, we have to start playing Heimerdinger now. And Pyke, of course.
Aphromoo on that Pyke, that's the first time we saw an NA.
That was bad.
I mean, come on.
I mean, it's just, it makes drafting nearly impossible because you need to remember Zoe and Nocturne are standard red side bans, but you can't play Aatrox, so you have to give it over. You can't play Heimer, you have to give that over. So you just hamstring yourself completely in the draft phase.
It's going to sting for NA, who was looking to defend their Rift Rivals title, but EU now reigns supreme, and they'll hold that title for the next year until we have a chance to take it back. The weight of an entire region, though, could be a lot to carry. And while each player from Europe did find their moments, the title of Rift Rivals MVP is being awarded to G2's Wonder.
Yeah, this is a guy for the entire Rift Rivals event. This isn't just from the best of 5 today. It includes the group stage. Every single laning phase, it seemed like this guy was destroying. Even in G2's loss today, he was having a very strong game. And people were wondering, how is Wonder going to match up with Impact? How is he going to match up with Huni? And Wonder took down everyone.
And I think also the most impressive thing is he didn't get help. G2 did not play around Wonder and like camp for his lane. It was 1v1 that he would just
or
do
1v2.
Or 1v2 sometimes he would do it as well. So it made it so much easier for G2 in the group stages because they could still put all the focus on Perks or Heimerdinger bot lane. And then Wonder would just consistently win his lane on his own. And yeah, even the Puppy game, he actually did really well on. So I think he fully deserved this one, even though it was Fnatic and Splice who ended up winning the final for Europe.
All right, all the EU Aatroxes looked good, but Wonders in particular, so much so he had to get taken off of it, but was still finding wins. To hear more from the Rift Rival MVP, Avali is standing by with the G2 top laner.
Thanks, guys. Wonder, congratulations on winning the MVP award. And I mean, did you expect coming into Rift Rivals to leave with the trophy as well as leaving as MVP?
I expected that we would win as a region. Of course, I didn't expect, because I played against a lot of good NA top laners, I didn't expect to get MVP, but I'm really glad I did, and I think I performed pretty well, even though I didn't really play against maybe all like the main role top laners. I played against like Phoenix and Brandini, but I still think I played pretty well, and I like played my role and did okay for my team.
You did have a phenomenal performance, but is there anyone else from your region that you'd like to recognize?
Well, I think what Fnatic has going on for them, the Brippo SOAS thing, has worked really well for them this Rift Rivals, and I expect them to do really well in Europe as well. So I think the thing they have going is working good for them.
So far, NA has taken down EU in your home turf, and now you've taken down NA in our home turf. Coming into next year, any advice, any battling words?
Well, I think NA has to work a bit more on the macro. I feel like they're not like that strong right now as a region, so maybe work a bit on the macro and they can maybe like do anything to Europe teams.
Well, thank you and congratulations again on your victory. And for more, let's hear from the analyst desk.
Thank you very much, Avli. I've kicked the two NA analysts off the desk this time around because EU reigns
Feels
supreme.
much better now.
Exactly. Deficio was the only one who called it, even though Jat was a traitor earlier in the broadcast. Hearing from Wonder there, talking about the differences between the regions, he points at the macro game, but I feel like there's far more than just macro game that was exposed here for the NA region.
I mean, it's a lot of things. I think it definitely some of the games, it felt like mechanically, just doing laning phase and doing skirmishes, the EU teams had the upper hand, especially against 100 Thieves. They were really the team who got punished hard because of that. But we also got to see in the Team Liquid game against Splice, where everything just fell apart in every single lane. There was a clear difference in terms of what they could do on the different champions they had. I think the macro one, I think he is joking a little bit with the Xmithy NA superior macro, but yeah, NA definitely does not have better macro than Europe.
All right, well, EU gets the win. If we pull up the schedule, though, presented by Jersey Mike's, you can watch the Rift Rivals champions compete next week, Friday, July 13th, when the EU LCS returns, with the NA LCS countdown starting up on Saturday after EU's broadcast. We forget that although it's the top three teams from spring, you guys have another undefeated team in Misfits still sitting across the pond.
And we have our match of the week, which is actually going to be G2 Esports and Misfits against each other. Woo! Both teams 6-0. They can get to decide who's the best European team. It might not even be G2 Esports.
You might even get me to tune in for that, broadcast.
Oh, you should definitely be watching that one.
Now, of course, on the flip side, for NA, I will be very intrigued to see what comes out in week 4, right? We talked about these picks that EU has been so willing to jump at. We saw the pike from Aframu today. I wonder if we're going to see the Heimerdingers.
You're going to get Heimer. You're going to get Aatrox.
Where's the Aatrox? Of course, they might not look as clean as the EU versions of those things right now. When it comes to the meta and how to play the game, though, we have heard from a lot of the EU teams, or say, for example, Fnatic, that we're not loving the AD carries and Funnel is really good and/or really strong mage bots. Where do you land on that? Do you feel like this tournament, being an opportunity for international metas to clash, has driven you to one thing more than the other in terms of the proper way to play the game?
I am more towards the mages than I was before. I feel like all European teams had a lot of success when they got the mages in the bot lane, Swain, Heimer, Karma, these kind of things. I think AD carries definitely can still work. I actually think now with some of the patches that are buffing some of the AD carries and some of the items, we will soon start to see some of the old crit ones return. The NA casters talk about Caitlyn all the time. Maybe she's gonna get back in the meta, but overall, mages in bot lane, mid laners who can actually play aggressive, and then I'm happy.
Getting a shot of the winning teams here on your screens as they take a moment to pose with their trophy. Never mind, you get to look at our pretty faces one more time. No, but for all the
trophy here we could pose with.
That would be nice, right? The cool thing about that trophy, too, is that the gem gets to switch out. So at the start of the tournament, there's a blue gem for the NA victors. It will be quickly switched out to the European red gem for the next year.
Also, we actually will have both the trophies in Europe now, because the NA teams never took the old one.
It there.
It's in our studio. When you walk inside, the first thing you see is the Rift Rival trophy, and we didn't even win it.
That's why we lost, man. We disrespected the trophy last year.
We got both,
that's
baby.
That's karma coming right back to kick us in the butt. But again, overall for the EU LCS, a fantastic victory. I am gonna again be curious to see, what this does now in terms of the way maybe NA preps for international competition. I keep going back to this idea, this question I asked earlier about Team Liquid and how the ball seems to be dropped when we get to international competition. And again, even here without the top regions in the world, we still aren't really putting up the kind of fight that a fan would expect to see.
I mean, of course you should be disappointed if you're an NA fan, but looking back at last year's Rift Rivals, when NA destroyed Europe, Europe learned a lot from it because they were like, oh, okay, these strategies we have, they're getting exposed. We're not playing the right things. We're not playing the right way. So that actually benefited the region. And we ended up improving towards Worlds. I think with NA, they're obviously going to be a couple of picks that we highlighted that they need to work on. And also, I keep seeing these interviews where they're talking about how, you know, people are afraid of making big plays. They just want to sit back. Paul Builder specifically highlighted that. Like, at some point, you must have watched enough games from China, Korea, Europe, whatever it is, where there are some mid laners that can make big plays, and you need to start trying to do that.
There should be no better motivation than losing the only international title you've ever held as a region. And so there it is, ladies and gentlemen, the EU LCS Rift Rivals champions here this time around. For myself, the casters, and the entire live broadcast crew, thank you for watching, and we'll see you next week for the EU and NALCS. Good night.
Is that a dragon?
I remember Reckless getting dumpstered so hard by Uzi that he benched himself.
All you guys have is entertainment and media's getting traded. Who cares?
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to a Rift Rivals 2018! Hey guys, no nerves, okay? No nerves. We trained for this our whole lives.
All random, ultra rapid fire.
No! I 96 whatever now. Get out of here! Oh! What'd you get? Oh, wait a minute. Get the healing? Oh, it doesn't know! This guy's insane! Just dive. Yeah, stop landing! Now they're getting me. Try hard!
Welcome to my desk, which now belongs to Europe.
Be prepared, we're coming.
Yeah, this could be really good damage. Straight to his aggro, he's gone! Fnatic striking first. Team Liquid will strike back.
I really want to play good because I still need to prove I'm gonna cross every EU top laner.
Cap trying to buy a bit of time to flash over, dash back through. He might have just put himself in the ground. Another one coming in for Wonder. Wonder is just being so dominant.
The one thing that Europe has over NA, I think, is the mid lane.
Kills come through. Brandini's gonna be confident on this one.
Yeah, sucks for you guys.
Super Zero Impact running for dear life, and he's gonna stay alive. Whippo falls well, a double kill for the left himself.
They can have to pick high man, that's for sure. They have no chance.
Someone gets deleted by a rocket barrage, and that's Europe winning the group stage. This game is so hard. Somebody kill that dance! Somebody kill it! Kill it! No! They're going to kill it! No! They go the kill! He does get it! Redblood is drawing the double. He's got the other kill. With the raining, he doesn't even go down. The shield, Dublin taking up the minions. That's gonna be it. We lost. Down. Shebang!
I think the Rift Rivals format for this year is much better than last year because it's going to prove that like one region is actually better than another region.
Sarah, combo! Disaster for G2. Bro, you get it. Don't worry. Get the guys down. Okay, come in. Let's go. 23-minute win for Echo Fox. It's probably fine, but we'll see. Watch out. After running for his life. World Ender, and he's looking to end 100 Thieves. Bring back the hope for Europe. Fnatic taking down 100 Thieves. Flights are cleaning house here in all of the skirmishes. No, they don't have to. Oh, nice. Yeah, and Riptail here should be able to do that. Oh my God. Europe one game away from claiming the Rift Rivals title. Pretty good stay right there. Who's gonna be careful? The Q comes across. Away as Phoenix is just running from Caps and a triple now in for the champion. Another kill towards the Rex team, and Hootie is not gonna stop Fnatic.